What am I playing this time? Holy crap, this is a very different game from usual. This is called, crap, took my time. Rule the Waves 2. Ship Design and Naval Warfare from 1900 to 1955. It's a game where you basically pick a country and you get to run that country's navy for those like 55 years. And in this one, I am actually playing as Italy. And what year is it? I've been running for about 3 years, and we're at war with the British. Me and the Austro-Hungarians over here. We are both at war with Britain. And you can see here I've got these naval bases, and what'll happen every turn is about a month, and when you do one of these turns and you're at war, it'll spawn one battle for you to fight if there's a potential battle to happen. Now, the British were attempting to invade the island of Rhodes here, and my battle fleet had intercepted them, and we basically have a battle where they came up from down here, and he had his transport ships with his escorting fleet against my fleet. There might be some Austrian ships in here, but not very many. It's mostly my ships. And currently we've been fighting for quite some time. And I've been sort of racing around him. You can see I'm actually the red, and he is the blue. If that's easy to see for you guys, but might not be. Simply put, this right here is my battleship line. I have 5 battleships here. If I right click on them, on the flag, it'll show me in this division I have 5 battleships here. The lead one here is at 38% damage. He's 51% flooded. He's the poor guy sitting right here at the front. And game has its stats. You can actually design your ships down to like what the superstructure looks like, where the different guns are placed. At this sort of stage, this ship is a battleship, and I actually can't go into the actual designer from here, but I can sort of explain some of the things. When I started this, I allowed myself to design what ships I started with based on a certain budget that we had. And so the starting battleships that I started off with have 2 of these turrets with 2 12-inch guns. Well, each turret, so it's 4 12-inch guns, and then I've got 10 7-inch secondary guns. So there's 5 on each side. These little tiny little lines here. I can actually zoom in on him as well, all the way down here. Oop, ooh. And so he's got like 3 smokestacks. He's got his little 7-inch guns. He's got his turrets with 2 12-inch guns. And the actual gun quality on this, because it'll roll things like quality. When you research a new caliber of weapon, it'll assign a quality. It's usually a -1 quality at the start. And then as you gain more research, sometimes you'll roll a research to improve the quality on one of your weapons. And in this case, I actually have quality 0 guns and quality 0 7-inch guns, so 12 and 7 inches. When you have like a -1, it actually makes the gun perform like an 11-inch instead of a 12. If it was a +1 quality, it would perform like a 13-inch gun. I then have midship 11 inches of belt armor, 2 inches of deck, 11 inches of turret, 2 on the battery, and then 10 on the conning tower, which is this guy right here. Then you can have some other things. I don't have any tertiary guns. So this is a fairly tanky battleship. I'll actually compare them to the British one, because right over here is the Howe class battleship that the British have. He has 4 12-inch guns, so very, very similar design, but he has 12 6-inch guns and 10 3-inch guns. and he only has 9.5 belt armor and turret armor. So he is. I think these are probably -1 quality guns. So he's got probably worse guns and worse armor. But the British definitely brought a bunch more ships, though. So far, I've been able to deal with them pretty well. He's got his Revenge class up here, which is one of his other versions. This one's a bit scarier because it's a 13-inch gun, 9-inch belt, 14 7-inch guns. So this one is much scarier. It's got a higher displacement than my ship does. But it is I think it's slower. Might be. Yeah, his is a bit slower. So I've been able to maneuver around them quite a bit. His battleships are actually all over the place. He's got one there, one there, one there, 2 over here. So they've kind of spread out quite a bit. There's another one here. Well, mine are keeping a nice formation and focusing a lot. I have a line of heavy cruisers here and some light cruisers up here. I'm actually chasing down some of his transports. I think he's got the one transport here, and then there's another one way down here that's been able to run away quite far. And aside from that, that's all of his remaining transport ships. There it is. The Barfleur class. This guy, he's basically dead in the water right now. It doesn't show it, but usually when you hover over, it'll give you an estimation on how much damage he is. He should be heavily damaged with a fire. He can't move, so 5 knots is seems to be like the minimum speed that it'll assign to it. I've been trying to get my guys to torpedo him, but it turns out that I need to enable captain's mode, and I can't because I'm in a battle right now. So once the battle's over, I can enable captain mode, and then I can, when I go to select these guys here, I can select them and I can specifically tell them to fire torpedoes at a certain target. So I can actually, they've been told to target this, and then I can manually tell them to fire torpedoes. But I can't, or else I'd have much easier time dealing with these guys, because a lot of my ships just they don't fire their torpedoes. They somehow managed to fire one at this guy on their own, but that's really it. And he is a sitting duck. He would be really easy to torpedo. Same with some of these guys down here. I've tried to see if I could run torpedo runs on them automatically, but the auto fire just doesn't want to. And I think I heard it's something to do with they don't want to friendly fire each other. So even though they're in a line and they can only shoot out the sides, they will refuse because I guess there's allies too close or something. So for now, I've so far been winning the fight over here. But yeah, I will press spacebar, and that will cause us to run 5 minutes of time, and you'll be able to see. So in here, the bold means that there's a hit that happened, and so far it happened to the Howe class here. And there's some other things that you can find, like turret jammed. These ships are shooting. Yeah, we can see that. I think these ships here, they probably were the ones who hit him. So you can see the little splashes. But these guys don't have very good guns, so probably didn't do very much damage to them. There are some things to keep in mind with this. So there's a lot of smoke in the area because we're all running coal-powered ships, and we've been sailing around. The wind is blowing down this direction, so if you were at a fire in the direction of the wind, the smoke would actually prevent your gunners from seeing very well. So if you can shoot into the wind when you're using a coal-powered ship, then you don't blind yourself. So right now he is turning away. It says he's got light damage. Ideally, when you want to do a lot of damage with ships, you want to cross a T. So, wonder. I know with this ship here, he actually turned my battleships were originally going north-south, and he was also going north-south. But then I brought in some cruisers to see if I could torpedo him, and then he turned in to the direction here, and he turned in and crossed over. So all my battleships, as they passed by, they shot into his front, and they scored a whole bunch of hits that slowed him down. And then a destroyer on AI controlled came by and hit him with a torpedo. But yeah, my destroyers have been sailing around and they just don't want to shoot any more torpedoes at him. So if I was in this side, I'd be able to do a lot more damage if I was on the right, because he's sailing away. My accuracy might improve if they're sailing away, but for sure if they're sailing towards your line at a 90-degree angle, then the ships have a really easy time shooting them. Whereas if you're going parallel to each other, you seem to have the hardest time hitting. So I hit the spacebar again. Yeah, I think it's just this. Oh no, this guy's a Howe, so he got hit there. Again, I don't know what exactly hit him, whether it was the 7-inch guns or the 12-inch guns, but he basically got hit by something, and he is at light damage. He might be worse off than that. You can't really tell exactly. I can tell from here. When I right click on a ship, it'll tell me damage that way. So to move, if I select the flag and the ship is not AI controlled, then I can hold the shift button and then I can left click, and what'll happen is it will change the bearing. So you'll see this course number 94 there, 83 there. So this way they will start to turn and loop around. Now I can just hit the play button and it'll just auto play. But in this one they're doing turns every time, but you can like hit the run button and then that'll just keep playing it. So now their ships are sailing away, so I should probably turn in some more this direction. And I've been taking it pretty slow to get an idea of what's going on here. These ships, I've basically got them on a run again to chase down this ship here. He's coming towards me at least, so. And this guy, yeah, this ship is pretty much dead in the water. He got hit pretty hard. I think he actually got hit by a torpedo, but he's been repairing himself. But he can't really go very fast, so he's been slowly limping away. But he's been able to poke at this transport every now and then, and I'm just bringing these guys up to try to deal with him. So, and I think, yeah, you can see these red lines. These red lines are where the main guns are shooting, and then the yellow lines, which are hard to see against the blue. These are the secondary guns, I believe. And then the blue lines, these blue dotted lines that go towards you, I think that means that the enemy is shooting at you. Because you can see he's got like his guns aimed along this line. So his secondaries are firing at me here. And then his primaries seem to be aiming up and shooting at the destroyer here. At one of them. Maybe. It's not showing any lines coming off from him, so maybe he's shooting at something else. But yeah, you can usually see if somebody's getting targeted, like this destroyer. Nobody's aiming at him. He's dead in the water as well, so he's probably just being ignored. Yeah, he's sinking, so they're just gonna ignore him. These guys, I think they're just getting poked at by some of their guns, but I don't have any red lines coming from these ships here, and I can probably start turning these guys in. I'll slow their speed down, because with coal-fired ships, they actually they're coal stokers. The guys who are shoveling coal into the engines, they will eventually get tired as you run at higher speeds, and they also produce more smoke, which makes it harder to see. So, but yeah, this is just a fairly slow, if you want it to be, game. I could just hit the fast button and then just boom, let it all go. But currently, in order to try and learn the mechanics of it, I've been taking it a bit slow. So maybe I'll cover more of this later. But for now, take care.